dog in the fight because this is a fellow human defending one of God's creatures that they're trying to slaughter, just like they've done millions of birds in this country attacking the supply chain. At what point do people in this world stand up while they're digging the ground out from beneath you so it collapses into the ocean? When do you stand up and say, we are not going to allow you to do this to any more of our fellow citizens? That's always my question here. Where are the rest of you in America? Where are the rest of you in Canada? You know what's going on here. You think that they don't have a plan for you. You may not have any stock or ostriches, but they've got a plan for you too. They have a different plan for people in a different situation. They're going to come sooner or later. And, you know, sitting back doing nothing is like paying the cannibals to eat you last. You're going to get gone no matter what. And the sooner that you respond to this bullshit in force that they bring, and this is why Tactical Civics here in the U.S. is one of the primary warfare platforms of Patriot Streetfighter. We are amassing these forces in all the counties around the country to have chapters in every county. We have over half the counties now staffed with chapters to get to where we can push ordinances through, to have citizen grand juries, again, like the founders put in this Constitution, so we can hold these criminals hiding behind their corporate.
Oh, shut up. Like, really, man, shut the F up. He's encouraging people and telling people that you actually have the legal right in Canada to arm yourself and go to that farm. And she's nodding. And then he's talking about Waco, Ruby Ridge, Bundy Ranch. Do you know what those things are about? Do you know what happened out at those places? People died. They got violent, out of hand. Not to say that the government was right in everything they did out there. They did some stupid, dumb, even illegal things. But people died because it turned into standoffs. And they get violent. And the way he's portraying what's going on out at that farm and the reasons why, that's hyperbole. And that's the stuff, American style stuff, that gets people killed. And that channel talks about it all the time. And is very focused on Canada and the 51st state. And there she is nodding, agreeing. I'll put them back up because I want to see what else she says or does.
Will happen because we have the numbers. We can go up, we the people can go up against any of the forces of the tyrannical powers that be, and all the people that they can bring to the table. They can't match the sheer size and the passion and the will of millions of people who are already standing up in many ways. Anyways, I'm going to pull back the reins because this is my calm.
Keep the reins going, Scott, because one other thing that people aren't aware of is that in Canada, and I would imagine, fortunately now, because President Trump is in with MAGA, but in Canada, there are farmers who are afraid to stand up because they're targeted by CFIA to come in and eradicate their livestock.
Oh, shut up. I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the hyperbole. Because that's the shit that gets people killed. There are ways to affect change. That ain't it. Sticking your nose in where it don't belong. And there she was the other day. President Trump, please save the ostriches. Yeah, stay on your side of the border. Let's pick it up over here. But they would never burn a flag because they just want to make Canada better.
But this to me is like a tipping point. What I see that they're trying to do to you up there and these beautiful creatures in Canada is a tipping point, and nothing's going to get done until the people, we the people, in a united fashion, blow the fucking gasket. That the thing that this is a disadvantage you Canadians have. The Second Amendment is the only thing that's keeping this world from descending into the pit of hell. If the United States didn't have the Second Amendment and we didn't have 750 million guns in this country, this world would have been lost a couple generations ago. The sad thing is, for you in Canada, they outlaw having anything to defend yourself, weapons. But that is the one thing that at some point, and I believe in this country, is coming very soon, like this year, people are going to finally start pulling their weapons out because they're going to launch active terrorist operations here with Al-Qaeda networks in the U.S. I'm going off the rails here, but I'm trying to pull the reins back on myself so I don't blow my stack here.
It's all connected.
That's that Cherokee blood.
Oh, yeah, it's all connected, she says. That's okay. That's all connected. She doesn't push back on it at all. This is a guy who's telling people to get guns and go out to the farm. He did. It's kind of buried in there, but that's what he did. And she's like, yeah, it's okay. Now, I'm not saying that Katie really wants people to do that, but she didn't push back at all. Now, I want you to look at the top corner of her screen. What do you see? Look closely. What do you see? US, A. US, A, USA, USA, US in stars and stripes, and A in Canadian. USA. What does that mean? They would never burn a flag. They're very patriotic. Oh, what kind of patriot are you? They're very transparent. Big U.S. money, big U.S. oil money flowing into that farm. John Catsimatidis, WABC Radio, owner of the largest grocery store chain, multi-billionaire, big grocery store chain in New York State. Also, oil magnate, owns a big refinery, biggest purchaser of Alberta oil on the U.S. side. Biggest purchaser of U.S. oil, period. John Catsimatidis has thrown his support, his influence behind and into everything going on out at that ostrich farm, putting Katie on the program, his radio program on WABC, one of the biggest radio stations in the United States, blasts back into Canada, all up and down the eastern seaboard. Very powerful radio station. Owns that too. Exerting U.S. influence in Canadian politics and through that farm. And this standoff with the CFIA. USA. USA. But they just want to make Canada better. By what? Making it the 51st state. Tell me about that feed. The bird feed. It's the special diet for your birds. I want to know. What's the truth? Truth is, those birds are going to be used either as food or they'll be sentenced to spend their remaining days serving as lab animals if they are saved. That's the truth. So what's the cause? Save the birds, save the ostriches. Arm up, rise up. What's the real objective out there? What is the real objective? What is the real cause? I want to know. Tell me. What's the real cause? Just save the birds? Yeah, save the birds, save the ostriches, and then what? And I'll tell you that, you just got to save the birds. Just got to save the ostriches. The named ostriches that they can't even account for. They had names for all of them, though. Karen Esperson was supposed to be able to name every single one, all 400. Because they're like family. They're pets. Somewhere between 300 and 400. We got names for all of them. I can name every single one. I know each one. Yeah, Katie says, my mom knows how to, she can name them when she comes out. She knows each one. Right? All 400. Well, 300 to 400, somewhere in that range. It was Sarah, the bird that got shot by a mystery drone in the middle of the night where no shot was heard, but then wound on the neck looked suspiciously like a knife wound. But hey, I guess we need an investigation into who murdered the bird. Why are you covering the story, Rick? Because it's all connected, just like she was honest about that. I'm sitting in this chair for how long now? Almost every night. For what? Basically to stand against that. Lies, deception, efforts to destroy my country. Maybe. Who knows? Because we just don't really know what the real cause is beyond just saving the birds. But like so many other things that seem to come out of these people that keep popping up, that call themselves freedom people and deceived me in the beginning. They only tell you what they don't want, what they don't like. We don't like this government policy. We don't like what they're doing. They're tyrannical. We got to get rid of them. But they don't tell you really what you're going to get on the other side. They don't really tell you what they're for. They just tell you what they're against. Rise up. Rise up. My God. Rise up to do what? Who wants to go? Who's going to get your musket and your hockey helmet and I don't know, get the lid off a garbage can, use it as a shield, run out to the farm, stand in a line with all your muskets drawn and tell the RCMP to get off my land. Katie's land, Katie's private property. Because we're saving these ostriches. No thanks. USA. perspective. It's important. You want to talk about transparency? Then be transparent. What are the birds for? What will the birds be used for after they're saved?